Jerem Jordan went with BYU baseball. The Batcats, the mustache mafia lives on for doing something that they had not done in WCC play, and that brings us to our first in-studio guest, Mike Littlewood, the baseball coach at BYU. Back in studio, man. Nice to have you back.
Hey, I would rather not be anywhere but right here with you guys.
I don't see a monkey on your back anymore, which is a great thing.
I told Brent Norton it was a gorilla. It wasn't a monkey. And you never want to say that, but or let people know that. But, everybody could feel it. And I didn't shy away from saying it was a big series for us. And sometimes you get a little bit, as a coach, a little bit tentative to go, no, not a big deal. When you play Utah, not a big deal. Well, it is a big deal. When somebody's beat you 16 times in a row, way before I got here and during my tenure here, it's a big deal. And it felt like a gorilla off the back. And even Tom Homo was on Thursday night after the game. He's like, just grabbing something off my back. And so, you guys aren't the only ones that thought that. So,
now, I want you to be honest with us here. How upset were you when we brought up the 0-15 stat of the day?
Not really.
Okay, that's good.
No, I really wasn't. No, not that I could do anything about it. The power of the microphone. It's a fact. It's a fact we had to face, and we played them tough so many times, and then they've blown us out a couple times. But my first year here, we go down to San Diego. They have Chris Bryant and Connor Joe, who ended up being another first rounder the next year, and we played them. They beat us in extra innings every time. It was an unbelievable series. I think one was extra innings, but then Chris Bryant hit a home run to tie it in the ninth, and they come back to score. And when we're trying to pitch around him, it was just one of those things that it was smoke and mirrors, but still we were close, and it just felt like, it's like putting or free throw shooting or those things in athletics that it just builds on, and then the more pressure and more pressure. So It was big. Number one, it was big to get the series win. But number two, just get the monkey off the back and let's move forward with this thing.
You can look at your starting pitching and kind of the influence that they have on the game. It's interesting. So Michael Rucker goes Thursday, 12-2 win. Maverick Buffo, Friday, 13-1 win. And then I can't remember who started Saturday.
Connor Williams started Saturday.
You're still trying to figure out that third starter, right?
I think Connor's doing a great job. He's getting better and better. I think his first 12 innings he threw, he had 18 walks. To start the season. We've talked about he's an infant or a toddler when you talk about a pitching career. He threw a little bit his senior year in high school, didn't throw at Salt Lake Community College, went on a mission, and now he jumps into a competitive D1 league, and he's trying to pitch. He's got incredible tools. He runs it up there 95. We've seen 97.
Yeah,
wow. He's much more consistent. He threw 5 innings. I think he had 4 walks. His big thing was. Tanner Chauncey gets his thumb caught in his jersey as he's running to first. The ball comes out of his glove, and it leads to runs. And then the next or 2 innings later, the ball's hit right back to Connor with a guy on first base, and he throws the ball in center field. That would have been a double play, and he made that play a couple innings previous. So he did a good job. I think the issue for me on the pitching side was. Hayden Rogers comes in and can't finish it because we close the gap to 6-5 and we're a line drive away from that their shortstop jumps and catches from going ahead. It was a great game, and then Hayden comes in and gives up a couple hits, and Jordan Wood comes in. He's 92, 93 and leaves the ball up in the zone. The little things in baseball just turn games around.
Looking at the West Coast Conference between BYU, St. Mary's, Gonzaga, all 3 top 50 RPI teams right now. Is this a multi-bid league to the NCAA tournament right now, in your opinion? For sure.
The West Coast, the pack's down a little bit. We hear that from all of the media outlets that the D1 baseball perfect game, that the West Coast is down a little bit. And I think our conference is up. We're pretty good. St. Mary's is really good. Gonzaga is really good. And we know that Pepperdine, LMU, and those are all going to be solid teams. And so when you're kind of fighting it out against one another, it just makes your league that much better. So yeah, it's nice to have the 3 teams high in the RPI, and I think if we finish out the season, it's going to be a multiple bid league for sure.
Kalani Sitake threw out the first pitch Saturday. What did you say to him after it brushed the dirt a little bit?
I didn't say anything. He's a lot bigger than me. I just said
That's
nice.
Weird because everyone says stuff
hey,
to me
great
about
throw.
mine.
Yeah. Jerem's throw was better, and I got all over Jerem, but Kalani's a little bit bigger. So I said, hey, great throw. Come back anytime you want.
And then Friday night, I think you had Nick Kurtz and Fred Warner and Taysom Hill.
We had about 6 of them come out, and they were pretty good. Taysom tried to hump it up a little bit. And,
75 or something on the game?
Yeah, maybe 76, maybe 74. I can't really remember, but I think he was expecting to see 88 up there.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
Sean Olmstead threw out the first pitch on Thursday night. This was quite the weekend for first
It was
pitches.
awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. The crowds were incredible. I just talked to Kevin Kinrod in our marketing department. I think we probably averaged 20 on the weekend, probably 2,400 people per game on the weekend. It's just, I mean, the support has been incredible. And I just, I keep my fingers crossed every day. We're going to show up and play and keep the thing going and keep people coming out. Because if you haven't been out to one of our games and sit in the stands, it's a big-time minor league atmosphere. The marketing department does an incredible job. Bill Hoops on the PA. I mean, it's just a great atmosphere to be around. And sometimes I have to tell my guys in the dugout, hey, the game's down here. It's not up in the stands where everything's going on, But it's fun. It's a fun, exciting environment.
What kind of pitching rotation can we expect tomorrow against Utah?
We haven't had a staff meeting yet to talk about that, but it'll be somewhat of a staff day, maybe not inning by inning. But I think probably a couple innings per guy, is probably going to be it, so we have everybody fresh for the weekend. I'm thinking Hayden Rogers might start the game. Maverick had a little bit of an issue with his forearm, so I might not throw him at all tomorrow. We'll just have to see that. Talk to Alex Davis, our trainer, today, and find that out. It's always interesting, just that we had Kendall Moats go down, was going to be our number 2 after the fall. He was our number 2 starter. I mean, he's a kid who throws 89, 92, 3-pitch mix, and he went down, had 4 bones taken out of his elbow just a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Was good. He didn't have to have Tommy John. It was nice. He'll be back, but that kind of put us back. It would have allowed us to start Connor Williams on those midweek games, and now it kind of just, we have to kind of piece things together on those midweek games, which is fine because the guys out of the pen are doing a tremendous job for the most part.
The last time you played Utah, you had a similar situation. I think you threw 8 guys and combined for a shutout against the Utes, who are surprisingly one of the leaders of the Pac-12 right now. So what does this game mean tomorrow in terms of your overall season and what it does for your RPI and stuff like that?
Well, it means exactly what it means every time we play Utah. I look at it as a must-win. I looked at it as a must-win from 1985 to 1988 when I was a player here. And I look at it as a must-win right now. It's for many reasons. It's our strongest rivalry. It's in-state bragging rights. It's recruiting. I mean, it's all those things. And, we just can't be shy about saying that this is a pressure game. I mean, we know that. We have to just go execute and play. And if guys throw strikes, it's almost tougher to face a new guy every single inning than it is to see a guy the second or third time and go, oh, this is how his slider breaks, or this is how his fastball runs in on me. It's like, oh, what's this guy going to bring? And it's kind of new. So if guys can go in and throw strikes and compete, it's almost a better situation to have a staff day like that.
Let's ask you our Twitter question. What was the most impressive performance by a BYU team or athlete this weekend?
Well, I think anytime you win your league, it's pretty impressive. So Sean Olmstead and men's volleyball, I'd have to give props to those guys.
Is that why you
I think he's going to come in.
We're
and
actually bringing Sean in right now.
I might pass him. Yeah. So
yeah, Sean will join us.
I just want to. And hey, best first pitch we've ever seen, by the way. So it was quality.
He just said that in front of 2 people that threw out a first pitch like the week before, man.
Like I meant it.
Mike Littlewood, the head baseball coach at BYU, joining us in Studio B, recapping a series win over San Diego and now looking forward to not only Utah tomorrow, but that road series at St. Mary's. The Gales, 1 game back of BYU right now in the WCC standings. What do you know about them? What do they bring to the table in Moraga?
They're a veteran team. When you go to Moraga and play, their field's nice, but it's kind of like a high school type feel, and sometimes it's easy to get just complacent there. So they lull you to sleep a little bit. But potential first rounder on Thursday, really good lefty on Friday, and another good right-hander on Saturday. They can really pitch it. They've got a veteran group. Anthony Villa plays third base for them, and just a tough out. But they're surrounded. Nolan's our catcher. They're surrounded by good hitters. They have a lineup similar to ours where 1 through 9, there's not an easy out. We really have to battle. It's going to be a challenge, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I wish I was a fan so I could remove myself a little bit and go watch that Thursday game and watch that pitching. Somebody that's just as good as Mike and having just as good a year. It's going to be pretty exciting.
And that That'll be on BYU Radio, I believe. You can listen to that.
Yeah, it will be.
I haven't
Brett Norton
seen
will be
the
there.
W.TV mention on that one, so we'll look
Yeah,
into that.
I haven't either.
Last week we chatted about someone that had an allergic reaction, I think, at Portland.
Yeah.
I can't remember what player it was, but
It was Connor.
It was Connor Williams.
Connor.
Yeah.
So he's better. Did you figure out what happened?
Didn't figure it out. We have no idea. In fact, he's going to go. And I told you guys, it was unbelievable.
You joked that he looked like Will Smith on
Hitch. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, we're in the dugout, and I told him that. I go, you look like Will Smith on Hitch. Have you ever seen that? And he goes, and he kind of gave me this really dirty look, like. Connor's 6'4", like 215. So I just walked away. I thought, hey, Alex, you got it.
Don't look in the mirror right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really fun. Let's talk about Mike Rucker. He's 7-0, and I believe at the time that was tied for the most wins in the country. Maybe that held over the weekend. I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers closely enough, but he's 7-0 as a starter. And Colton Shaver didn't mince words. We asked him about it when he was in studio, and he said it's amazing to watch him pitch. Like he picks his spot and he throws it there. And then you told me on Thursday night, hey, he's not as sharp as he has been. You win that game 12-2, and he wins the game anyway. So
yeah.
How good is Mike Rucker?
Well, that's a nice thing about Mike. I mean, a lot of pitchers will take their second, like not their best stuff, and they'll go out after 3 innings just because they can't survive. But Mike, his problem Thursday night was his fastball was running a little bit too much, so he couldn't control it. I mean, it was running 6 or 8 inches, so he really couldn't spot up his fastball like he wanted to. Threw enough of them to get outs, but his slider was money, and his changeup was okay and got some swings. And so when Mike takes his maybe secondary stuff out there, he still has a chance to win, where most guys don't. And that's the difference. I mean, our pitchers in the past, and you look at Maverick Buffalo, if he doesn't take he'll compete like he did last week, because I thought he was the same. He competed. But once in a while, early in the year, he won't take his best stuff out there, and he has trouble getting out of the third or fourth. He's getting better at that, which is nice, and I think Mike's maybe rubbing off. But it's if you were to ask Trent Pratt, who calls the pitches, how fun it is to call a game for a guy where you know that you call this pitch and it's going to go there, that's pretty fun.
How has this team evolved from the start of the season to now, you think?
I think we've just settled in. We've always played with confidence. We know we're pretty good. We've had a couple. Brendan Anderson goes out with a thumb injury, and who knows? We're going to find out what happens to him today. But Noah Hill steps in, and the first night, Daniel Steeman steps in and ropes a double right away, and then we face the left-hander, and Noah Hill comes in and gets a hit and makes a diving play. And so I think everybody's staying ready. The thing that I tell everybody about this team is they love each other. Not like they love each other. They'll go play for each other, and if a guy's struggling, they'll pick him up. If you could ask Sean when he sits in this seat next, that's the most important. Once you have talent, that's the most important thing you can have on a team. Because if you have one guy who doesn't buy in, it affects the entire team. We don't have one of those guys this year.
Well, we've seen BYU baseball succeed with depth in right field, and now with the Brendan Anderson situation. And we'll definitely keep a close eye on that. But let's give you some BYU Sports Nation karma, Coach, for the road.
Let's do it. I'll take it.